Welcome to season 2 of the Energy Upgrade podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa, master biohacker and successful entrepreneur. In season 1 of the Energy Upgrade, you got to have a taste for my obsession in all things health, energy, entrepreneurship, spirituality, and biohacking, or how to take radical responsibility in living a life by design. As a certified health coach, integrated health practitioner, kinesiologist, and seasoned entrepreneur who built and sold a 7-figure business, I want to dive deeper in this season 2. After healing myself from burnout, from my health falling apart, my hormones leaving my body, I'm here to share everything I wish someone had told me. Every day, I have the incredible opportunity to be mentoring women and supporting them in becoming true magnetic energy bombs. I'm helping them remember who they were all along. It's so powerful that I want to take you in on the journey, almost as if you were a fly on the wall. You'll find that I'm not your typical health coach, and I'm not your typical business coach either. I'm somewhere in between with a lot of spirituality sprinkled in there. This podcast is a sacred place where I come and share with you things that will bring you a high return on investment, because yes, I'm all about ROI. Life goes fast, and if I can show you a shortcut or two, I'll have succeeded at bringing you value. Thank you for being here. Let's go.
Your time is now. Your energy is your life force. You want to be able to magnetize your wildest dreams. A liver detox is the fastest way to start healing. You can and you will.
Well, hello, beautiful women, and welcome back to another episode of the Energy Upgrade. This is Vanessa Gruntman, your host. And today I'm giving you a little bit of a behind the scene look of my own business. I promised you in season 2, more raw, a deep dive into more personal topics. And so it's with that energy and intention that today I want to come and celebrate. I guess, celebration is required. Celebrate my latest launch. You may have seen, some of you may have taken part into Biohacking Mastery. That was my launch in September of 2023. It was the first time that I did a 5-day free masterclasses, and it then turned into 9 days because the energy was so high. It was my first time holding the energy for 9 consecutive days, sharing generously so much content, so much breakthroughs of my own evolution and growth from a health standpoint, as well as from a business standpoint. It truly was a blast. And today I want to share with you a bit of the behind the scenes, because it also was my absolute most successful launch. And I'm so proud, so humbled by it all. It definitely is something it's a milestone I've been trying to reach for many months. And finally, I was able to achieve a 6-figure launch. Woohoo! Now, there's a lot of noise out there, especially if you're an entrepreneur in the world of online businesses. Oh, you got to reach these 6-figure months and these 7-figure business. And that's sort of the shiny object that everybody's trying to reach. So I'm coming here very carefully choosing my words, because if I'm sharing this success, I by no means am I trying to say that this is the definition of success and that's how it should look like in your own business. Because the truth is, we are all having different goals, different visions, not only for our business, but for our life, for our lifestyle, for our quality of life. And so and this is part of my teachings, is if I reach a 6-figure month, it's not so that to pressure you to do the same. It's only to show you that it's possible. And that is my intention today, is not to come and say, look at what I did, but instead, show you that if that's what your heart is wanting, if that's what your soul is calling you to do, well, I'm here to tell you it's absolutely possible to do that quickly when you have an online business and when you're very, very clear on your vision and mission. But I'm also here to share a little bit of the behind the scenes, because a lot of people only talk about, oh, okay, a 6-figure month. But believe me, my friends, that doesn't mean I have 6-figure in my bank account right now. Absolutely not. We need to talk about profit margins as well, right? And that is so essential when we talk about the health of an online business. So yes, I was able to reach this 6-figure launch after biohacking mastery. And I think for the first time, the reason why I was able to do it was because I really was embodying this energy that I'm teaching, which is this perfect balance of the masculine energy and the feminine energy. As a reminder, your masculine energy is your vision, it's your leadership, it's your drive, it's your consistency, your dedication, it's knowing exactly where you're going, what you're trying to teach, where you're trying to help people. And at the same time, the feminine energy is actually having fun doing it, actually leaning in, actually being okay, not being perfectly perfect all the time, being okay with flowing and celebrating and welcoming questions, and being okay if suddenly we change the topic on a different day, which I did so many times in those 9 days. I changed the topic so many times. And so I was really able to embody what I teach. And I think that is one of the reasons that this launch became so magnetic for the people that were in this container. We had so much fun. I was just focused on giving generously, and people got so much value, so much value. In fact, so many people told me, well, listen, I think I have what I need. And I think I can get started with that. And that's perfectly fine, right? There was something for everybody. And no matter what stage in your life, in your business you're at, everybody left with something, with an added value, which is really how I measure the success of my interventions. I want you, no matter where you are in your life spectrum, I always want you to leave with a return on investment. I want you to leave feeling like you learned something. And that's even my intention today. This podcast of showing you this behind the scene of the successful month is not at all to boast and say, oh, look at me. It's more to show you and share some important perspective that I believe are not discussed enough in the world of online business. I want to also hold the light. If you are at this point in your life, maybe you are having a 9-to-5 job, and maybe your soul is aching. Maybe your soul is calling you saying, gosh, there's got to be something more that you can do. There's got to be something else you could do to have a bigger impact. If you're having this calling, yet you're wondering, what would it look like? What could it be? I want to hold the light for you and show you that nowadays having an online business is not only possible, but you can actually thrive on it. Obviously, you got to do it well. You have to make sure you have the right structure. You have to make sure you are well supported, well surrounded, ready to expand, make sure you're all in. But if you are doing all these things and you are committing to being consistent, it will pay off. And if you have a real service, if you are truly offering something that is unique and of value to the world, it will magnetize the right people. And I truly believe that. And I'm here to show you that perhaps if you are dreaming of a business where you can work from home, where you can do your laundry, where you can pick up your kids after school, where you don't have to be tied to an office, it's possible. You can absolutely allow yourself to start dreaming. That's what I did. And in as little as 9 months, I was able to grow to now having 9-figure months. And I've been having consistent high 5-figure months since day one, basically, because I started coaching early 2022, but I didn't really start pushing it or advertising it. I really started small because I wanted to make sure I had a real service, that I was providing real transformation. And I really only kind of pressed the pedal in January of this year. And here we are. And I'm very close to being at the 500,000 mark, which is like so amazing in such a short amount of time. And I think it's really just what this month showed me is proof of concept. Essentially, this is what I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating that I have clients that are truly transforming in my containers. I know I have a service that is so unique. I know that my approach works. I know that when I'm speaking to the right people, they are feeling called because I know what they need. And so this 6-figure month and this 6-figure launch just showed me and that I'm on the right track. And that really is what I'm celebrating, because ultimately that's what I'm here for, is to impact and help as many women as possible reclaim their energy, reconnect with their power, and rise. Because the more women that rise in this world, the more our world will be the change that we're looking for. We're all wanting to see the world taking a different turn than it is right now. So it's all our job. We all have to take responsibility for that and see how can we contribute to this world that we're trying to build. And so for me, this is what the representation of this successful month was. And, also side note, I did it, which blows my mind, but I did it while solo parenting, because during the 2 weeks of my launch, my husband was on 2 different business trips. And so I did it on my own, literally having to, drop off the kids, pick them up, obviously feed them, put them to bed, story time. And I did not want to compromise that time with them. And so I'm super proud to have been able to reach that milestone, all while actually walking the talk and being balanced in my life, which is very important. Now, am I saying it was a piece of cake? Not at all. And I'm so glad that my immune system, my hormones, that all my tools that I have kind of worked for me. And I did a lot of self-care. I did a lot of daily walks and sauna and red light and all the things to make sure that my energy was always in perfect alignment and that I was really bringing my purest frequency to the table. And also, I think that is important. People can feel that. People can feel that I'm not making anything up. I'm actually doing what I preach. I'm my first student. So if I was able to do this solo parenting at home, you absolutely can do this too. So this is really my message. If maybe you already have a business, maybe you can't figure out how to get there. That is possible with consistency, with a clear message, with a strong and beautiful transformation process, especially if you're in the service industry, or a wonderful product that actually provide real results. There's a need right now in this market. People are looking for A, real people, no robots, and B, real transformations and real services. Because we've all been burnt, especially in the last few years with the rise of online businesses, with promises and products that don't deliver, or coaching programs that don't deliver and leave you feel like really disappointed. I'm not in it for that. And in fact, that's really what I do with my clients in Femme Biohacker, which is my new program for health and business elevation. It's how can we dial the volume up on the quality of the transformation and the services that we can offer into this community, into this world, because that's how we're going to make a difference. So that's the first thing I wanted to share with you, is the representation that this successful month, A, shows you that you can do it too, and B, it shows you that it's possible. Online businesses, there's room for strong women, and not even strong women, for women that have a real service. Hey, I'm interrupting this episode because I need to come to talk to you about Fall Queen. Yes, fall is upon us, and I strongly believe that as women, we are cyclical by nature. And I want you to embrace the seasons, the changes in our bodies, the changes in our mindset. And I want to give you all the tools so that you can rise no matter what season we're in. It's with that intention that I've designed Fall Queen after the success of Summer Queen. Fall Queen is a 6-week intensive program where we're going to be diving into shifting your mindset, detoxing your body, your environment for renewed health and energy. We're going to be diving into all of what the woman is craving in the fall season. So nourishment, immunity support, nervous system support, and of course, detoxification, because it's always a big part of it. These topics will be discussed all while acquiring unique knowledge around toxin elimination, emotional and somatic releases, and detoxification of your environment. This program is really going to help you not only get more energy, but boost your natural immunity, increase your resilience, and shift your mindset so you can finish 2023 like a true queen. So if this program is of interest to you, we're starting October 19th for 6 consecutive weeks. Every Thursdays, you get the replays if you can't join us live. You get full access to me on Telegram. We get to text each other and become besties. I'm here to support you, your health, and your progression. I want to support you rising. We're also going to have our unique Facebook community of aligned women who are ready to make this fall just their best one yet. So if you're curious, I'm going to put the link in the show notes. It's 6 weeks for $9.97. This is my most inexpensive program. It's the best way to join my universe and take advantage of the energy of the vortex so you can start transforming here and now today. I hope to see you there. And of course, if you have any questions, remember you can always book a connect call with me so that we can get to know each other and I can best guide you on how I can support you and your expansion. I hope to see you in Fall Queen this fall. The other thing I wanted to talk about is so for me, coming from my previous business was a network of medical aesthetic clinics that I had with my partners, and it was a brick and mortar business. So for me, having a 6-figure month wasn't a new feeling because we were having that consistently in that previous business that I had. In fact, if we didn't have a 6-figure month, it actually meant trouble. Why? Because we had this brick and mortar, we had actual clinics. So what does that mean? It means we had rent to pay. We had massive investments in technology and lasers and the latest and greatest equipment to be able to offer high quality medical grade services. We had associate physicians and nurses and the best of the best laser technicians and medical estheticians to pay. Can you imagine the amount of expenses we had every month? So hitting a 6-figure month was non-negotiable. But what really kind of was an interesting shift for me this time, being able to achieve this 6-figure month without these expenses, is so expensive. It's so, wow, it flows in such a different way. So I received that abundance in such a different way. And that brings me to the conversation about profitability of online businesses. Well, of businesses in general, if you're not able to have a profit between 35 and 50% for online businesses, then you got to rethink, because less is more. And this is also what really stood out for me this month after hitting this very important milestone, was like, wow, I was able to pull similar revenues, yet I don't have these insane expenses. Now, of course, trust me, like I said at the beginning, I do not have 6-figure in my bank account right now, because even online businesses have huge amount of expenses that might not even be suspected, from all the different softwares that we need to use, employees, of course, team members, coaches. There's so many different expenses that need to be considered. But what's great is you do have the option of being profitable. And for me, that's really my goal, is always to be between 35 and 50%. Why? Because that puts me in a position of leadership where I can reinvest in my business to improve the quality of the customer service, to improve the quality of my message, to improve the quality of my marketing and branding, to be able to give back to my community. That's how I reinvest, and to be able to really ensure that I can support my employees over time, right? So I'm always putting money aside every month so that if we have a lower month, I'm okay. I actually can support my team. And so this is also a very important conversation because there's a lot of noise on the top line, which is your gross revenue. But at the end of the day, really what dictates the longevity, the sustainability of a business is the bottom line. It's the net. It's your profitability. So I invite you, if you have your own business, maybe do the math and make sure that that profitability includes your own salary. Number one mistake of all entrepreneurs out there, especially solopreneurs, is we don't pay ourselves a salary, which is a mistake. We have to include that salary into our net. So this is something I also wanted to shed light on because yes, it looks all fancy and glorious to have these big months, but really conversation needs to be about, okay, is this business actually viable? Will it survive through times, through the highs and lows? That's how we know how the foundation of a business, if it's been built solidly, really logically as well, if there's been good care and thought put into it. And that's really also part of the teachings I do in my program, is making sure that what we're offering is actually anchored on strong foundations. And the last point I wanted to talk about is, like I said, it's almost become like these revenue metrics have almost become like vanity metrics, where it's like, look at how well I'm doing. But of course, big launches come with big responsibilities. And that's also something we need to consider. Is that something you're ready to do? Is that something you truly crave in your soul? Because when you have big launches, it means you're welcoming more people into your universe, into your container. That means there's more people that you have to serve. There's more people you have to show up for. That means there's also more of your time that's going to be given to these people. Are you going to be able to continue walking the talk despite having less time? Do you have anything in your organization that needs to be restructured, rethink? So again, it's very fancy to have these big launches, but I'm here to also give you the behind the scenes that we have to take a hard look at the net, the bottom line, and we have to take a hard look at responsibilities that come with that. Because I do not want to grow a business where I don't deliver on my promises, or where I'm not delivering on the quality of service and care that I'm promising. To me, that is the foundation of why I'm here. So I'm not willing to compromise that. So am I going to have 6-figure months every month? I don't know. Of course, that would be nice. But right now, I'm going to be focusing on really, really making sure that my structure and the evolution of it and the growth of my business is really well anchored and has strong foundation to support that growth. Because yes, I want to be able to welcome more and more women in my universe under my care, because I see how they're transforming, and I cannot help but share my excitement. But I want to make sure I think really, really wisely on how can I make sure that everybody gets the care and the customer service and the high touch that I want to be able to offer. Because my programs, it's not just a coaching or something that you'll get with a naturopath. And I'm just saying naturopath, but any healthcare provider. It's really a unique combination of mindset, of transformation, of spirituality, of body embodiment, lifestyle, biohacking. It's all these things intertwined. And that's really what makes me unique. But it's also a very high it's a luxury experience, and I want it to stay like that. So those are my behind the scenes thoughts. I thought I really wanted to come in today really to give you the real truth on, yes, it's awesome to have these big launches, and gosh, am I so humbled and grateful for it. I'm really, really so thankful for everybody that showed up during Biohacking Mastery. And I know that maybe some of you listening, maybe you missed it, maybe you were in it, but you didn't catch all the replays, or you started watching them late. And so rest assured, if that's you, because yes, I will be bringing back Biohacking Mastery. I cannot wait. It was such a blast. I seriously had so much fun. Every morning I was waking up so excited, and it kind of became this ritual where we would all meet each other live. We had this beautiful container of hundreds of women just showing up, and the chat was on fire. It was really a thrill, and I cannot wait to host it again. I don't know exactly when, but stay tuned. For sure it will be coming back. I think probably once before the end of the year. So stay tuned for that and don't miss it this time. So if this episode was helpful, if it resonated with you, let me know. Come and find me in my DMs on Instagram. Maybe share it with your network. Maybe share it with a friend that you think needs to hear this message. And as always, I love reading your reviews on Apple Podcasts. So if ever you feel called, if you want to take a minute to let me know if the messages here are helpful to you, if they're helping you also in your growth and elevation, I would be so happy to hear about your experience. And yeah, it's always a pleasure to come back here week after week and to see so many of you always there waiting for a Tuesday drop-in, a Tuesday episode. So again, thank you so much. And thank you to all of you who made this big month successful, who made it possible. Thank you for believing in what we are offering. Thank you for transforming, to being all in, to being vulnerable, to leaning in. And thank you for your courage to show up for yourself. I will be always here helping you, cheering you on, if that's what you're craving in your life. So I cannot wait to see you again next week. And I hope this episode was helpful. Have a good one. The information shared on this podcast is for information purposes only and doesn't provide any medical advice. Vanessa Grutman does not cure, diagnose, or treat disease. Please consult your physician before trying any new protocol or product.